Exterior expansion, we're starting at the rear left elevation. We have a drain pipe here, draining right onto the grade next to the foundation. Not a good place for it. That needs to be extended out about 4 foot. Now the grade at the front elevation here is too high. It's coming really close to the brick line here. Needs to be about 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches below that. Left like that, it's going to allow damp to migrate through the wall into the cavity space. Again, still high. Yeah, the grades here on the brickwork. And we have damaged screens. Again, the downpipes emptying close to the building. We're at the rear elevation. The rear elevation is okay. It actually is a little flat in this area here, but that's not so bad. It will drain, but on the right elevation we're actually sloping towards the building itself. It's going to pool along here. That's not good. That should be regraded. Now at the front elevation with some larger trees, I recommend that you have your sewer lines scoped, because these trees put out roots and those roots can get into your sewers. And a house of this old age probably has cast iron sewers. In fact, it almost certainly does. The grade is not so bad here, although these flower beds can actually cause pooling right at the front of the house. Again, that's not good. Make sure they drain well by drilling drain holes through the mortar. Here are the clear outs for the sewer. One will go under the house and this one will go down to the city. Again, get that scoped to make sure that you've not got roots in your sewer lines. We're moving to the left elevation. Well, the left elevation grading is a little bit better than the right. It is actually sloping away from the house, but there's no real swale running down here. Roof inspection, we're starting with the soffits. We have soffit vents at the rear elevation. Soffit vents at the right elevation. And soffit vents at the left elevation. We're on the roof. There is some impact damage to the roof. You can see here that shingle at the ridge is damaged and should be replaced. There's some damage to the shingles around the chimney itself. At the front elevation. The vent there at the bottom needs to be pushed up. It's actually dropped in a bit. That's going to allow water coming down this valley to penetrate it. Now the chimney doesn't have a cap nor a spark arrestor. This is the chimney cap. The coping is in good order, it slopes away, but it's actually missing a cap. There should be a cap on the top here, stop rain getting down into it, and there should be a spark arrestor, and that's not there. The chimney also, very typical of a chimney of this age, is not lined. I recommend that you consider lining this chimney at some time in the future. You can use metal liners, work perfectly. In fact, a cap and a metal liner could all be installed in one go. I'm in the attic. The attic's been redecked. It has radiant barrier decking, which is good. Great in terms of lowering the costs of heating and cooling. And this is the flue. The flue itself is loose. And there's a strong smell of gas. So we're going to have to get the gas meter out and have a smell. Also, this gas pipe should have a sediment trap on it, and it doesn't. This is the primary drain line. You can see we've got a U-bend here, should be insulated. That is just to let us know if or just to protect it from sweating, getting lots of mould on it. The gas line, as I've just mentioned, doesn't have a sediment trap. The flue is loose, needs to be restrained. The general condition of the insulation is poor. Yeah, general condition of the insulation is poor. It's of a standard you'd expect of insulation of this stage. There's evidence of water penetration at the chimney breast, but that may be old. Now the chimney penetration here should be bonded, reduces the probability of a lightning strike. Any utility appliance going out through the roof that's metal should be bonded, so that will also include the water heater, which we'll check when we find it. Insulation has been removed from over there, that may be the porch actually, but there is some insulation laying around. Now here we've got a Romex cable going over the surface boards, so that should be protected, both of them, as you can tread on them and damage them. This is the water heater. We don't have a safety pan, and the floor beneath the water heater is collapsing. The water heater itself is in good condition. We have got a loose flue. In fact, if you look around here, you can see that it's actually dumping flue gases into this closet. It's actually not attached. This is the sort of thing that makes you wake up dead. Oh, as they say, you don't actually wake up, do you? Very bad. It's just got to be fixed. You can't even leave the house with it like this. Now the reason this water heater flue and hood is in pieces is it was installed incorrectly, which invalidates the warranty. The legs of the hood should be screwed in place, and there should be screws in here. I'll do an illustration in the report to let you know exactly what it should look like when it's finished. Holes in the sheetrock up here should be filled, and up here we should have a plate sealing the cupboard. This is a air vent. And we don't have an air vent at the bottom. There should be two air vents, one at the top, one at the bottom. This is not a good place for a water heater anyway. Really, I prefer to see them in the garage. So if you could negotiate to get it moved into the garage, there's plenty of room. It could easily go on a stand in this corner here. But if it's going to stay here, which I don't recommend, but if it's going to stay here, I do recommend that you have a sediment trap fitted. That reduces the probability of a problem with the burning. And this has got to be fixed up here. We have a second water heater in the closet off the master bedroom. No safety pan, no drip leg, no sediment trap. The hood's in place, but it doesn't have any ventilation at all. The ventilation for the unit is the closet door, which is illegal. There is no weather seal on the floor. The hood and the flue are not retained, and the transition between the attic and the closet is not sealed. This is Federal Pacific board, and they're famous for being very unreliable. They're out of business, they've been sued out of business for fires and stuff. And one of the problems is like this. You see this breaker here, it's quite loose. I recommend you plan to replace this, as they are known to be a fire hazard, and this is getting to be a very old board. Of course, it's in line with the house and the age of the property. We have a Federal Pacific panel. The fire damper is follows here. We've got a new fire tray here, and we've got a gas lighter here. Obviously in design for gas logs. All of this is new. It's looking in good condition. It's sealed correctly. The only problem is that you're going to have to put your hand up into a hot flue area to control the damper. I'd like to see some damper control being brought down away from the fire area so it can be operated without the risk of burning yourself. Air compressor, we're at the right hand elevation of the property. Unit is level. A bit dirty down the bottom here. Running at the moment. We've got a drop of between 12 and 16 degrees. More than likely a problem with filters or just a little bit of maintenance would improve its performance a lot. Good installation on the pipes on the outside. This is the isolator. We have the burners going. Burning nicely, nice blue flame, no yellow. We checked it for a gas leak earlier, and we've still got no gas leak. I'm very pleased with that. I smelled gas first off and I was worried that we were going to get some, but we're not. This is the water meter. We're located at the front elevation. This cover here is normally for a sprinkler. And a minute while we're here. Yes, this is a sprinkler, isolation valve and a backflow preventer. It's all in good order. The clear outs, as I pointed out earlier, are up here at the front elevation. Now let's go and test the water pressure. of the system.
Yeah.
This is a closet that's been turned, I think, into a shower, which is fine. There's no way to turn that light on. Perhaps it's here. Got it. Works. Excellent. Well, we have good functional flow. Then we have hot water. Zone 1 is the front yard, the flower beds. Zone 2 is the right hand front yard. Zone 3 is the left hand front yard. Zone 4 is the front yard up to the curb. Zone 5 is the right hand elevation including the foundation. Zone 6 is the rear yard close to the house. Zone 7, the backyard. There's no sign of a grounding conductor or a grounding bar here at the service drop. The trip sensors here are too low.